Hello, welcome all to this special virtual ESO tour. My name is Heidi Korhonen. I'm a staff astronomer on Paranal and the head of the Studentship Selection Committee for Chile. Next to me is Monika Petr-Kotsens, who is a user support astronomer in Garching and chair of the Studentship Selection Committee for Europe. Together, we are going to be hosting this event. It is a virtual tour of various ESO sites. This tour is a bit different from our normal public tours because it's more geared for graduate students, so people who have master's degrees and are enrolled in a PhD program currently and are interested in having a studentship here at ESO with us. So our tour guides today are ESO students who will meet other ESO people on their way. Let me introduce to you Priscilla Pessi, who is a PhD student in Vitacura in Chile, and Aishvara Kirthar, PhD student in Garching in Germany.
Thank you very much, Heidi. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this virtual tour. I'm Monika Petr-Kotsens. I'm an ESO astronomer, and as Heidi mentioned, I'm the chair of the Student Selection Committee in Europe. And while we wait to start the real tour into the ESO premises, let me give you some more details related to the ESO Studentship program. As Heidi said, the program is designed for PhD students who are already enrolled in a PhD program at the university or will be enrolled in a PhD program in the near future. And this means that by the time you apply, you should have a PhD supervisor at your home university and a PhD research topic already defined. The ESO Studentship then would allow you to conduct part of your PhD research 1 or 2 years at ESO with an ESO astronomer as supervisor. And therefore, it's also important to contact that ESO, this potential ESO astronomer supervisor, well in advance of the application deadline and to discuss with that person your research plan at ESO. So now, why should you consider coming to ESO? Well, as you will see in the tour, ESO is very different from a university environment. It's a very special and in many senses unique place, as this here is the place where telescopes are built and the most modern astronomical instruments are assembled, and a very large fraction of the European astronomical community is supported in carrying out their astronomical observations. But ESO is not only constructing and operating some of the world's largest telescopes. ESO also provides a very rich and diverse scientific environment. And as you will hear during the tour, ESO students have the chance to interact with many other young PhD students, with postdoctoral researchers and senior astronomers from the ESO faculty, counting in total almost 150 astronomers. So we have several seminars, we have talks, we have daily science coffee, topical science coffees, and this is all meant to provide a friendly and professional environment where people can exchange scientific ideas and foster new collaborations. And ESO students very often take the lead in organizing and chairing such events, and thereby they play an important role in the science life at ESO. In general, there's a large diversity of astrophysical topics to which students, well, in principle, all of us at ESO are exposed. But I also would like to point out that ESO offers a very generous travel support for students, allowing you to participate in conferences or to go on observing trips or visit collaborators. And furthermore, we have a great visitor program. Through this program, you could also invite your home PhD supervisor to come and visit you at ESO for a couple of weeks. And we also have a program to support the organization of workshops in-house or on campus. And the science workshops on campus are very interesting and typically attract astronomers from all over the world to come here for a week or so to discuss their science. And ESO students can help in organizing such workshops. And in this way, of course, you get in touch and in contact with famous, well-known astronomers. Well, I would have much more to say, but time flies. And I suggest you to have a look at the ESO pages, where there are even more details related to the ESO Studentship program. And with this now, I give the floor back to Heidi.
Thanks, Monika. So specifically for Chile, I would still like to mention that we offer short instrumental and operational projects at the observatories, also for the students. So you are going to be part of a great team at the Observatory. It's super interesting and a lot of fun. Students also take care of several activities like journal clubs, presenting science news of the week, and summarizing seminars given during the week. We also offer lectures given by our staff and fellows. Apart from that, the scientific environment in Vitacura in Chile is very similar to Garching. So lots of rich scientific and lively discussions. So you will see all this during the tour later. So let's get started. I hand over to Aishwarya, who will lead you to Garching.
Hi everyone, I am Aishwarya Girdhar. I am a second year PhD student at ESO under the International Max Planck Research School. I am from New Delhi, India, and I am really happy to welcome you all to the tour of the ESO headquarters. So let's start our tour with a view from outside of the building from outside. So this is the headquarter building from outside. And as I show you around, I would also briefly like to tell you about my research. So my research basically involves studying the active galactic nuclei, which are active black holes in centers of the galaxy. And I'm actually studying the outflows from these galaxies and understanding how they are affecting the evolution of the galaxy itself. So very exciting research, basically. So this is the view actually from outside of the ESO building, and let's actually now go to the entrance. So I hope you can see this is the main entrance of the ESO building from outside, and let's move in. So welcome to the inside of ESO. I really like the architecture of this building. It's really beautiful. And I would just quickly also like to show you around. The reception is behind us right now. So this is the reception and the main entrance. And so when you will be here at ESO, this is where you will enter. And now let's start the tour with like the most exciting part of ESO. So which is actually, I would like to say, the heart of ESO, and it's the ESO library. So unlike maybe some places, the library at ESO is not quiet. We actually meet here every day for various talks, like already mentioned by Heidi and Monica. We have a very active academic life here. So on Mondays, we have the Knowledge Exchange series at here in the library, which is basically like a transfer of knowledge from the ESO scientists and engineers to the students and fellows. On Tuesdays, we have the lunch talk where people come in from all over the world and talk about their science, which is followed by free pizzas. And on Wednesday, we have the informal discussion, a student session, and I'm sure I'm forgetting something else. Finally, on Friday, we have the journal club where we present our papers. So basically, it's some talk or the other where we get to interact with the scientists, with the fellows, and also with other students. So it's basically a very nice environment. And also we have actually a very active environment with the students, because we don't just interact academically, but we also have other sessions like we have the beer Fridays after work every Friday, and we also have wine and cheese seminars on Wednesdays. And apart from it, if you still want to pursue your passions, we have groups, and you can take part in whatever activity you want, like football group, volleyball, board games, cycling, climbing. So once you're here, you get to choose what you want to pursue. And with this, I would now like to take you to the next exciting place at ESO, which is the cafeteria. So this is the cafeteria at ESO, also a very important part of our experience, because every day we meet here for lunch and for the most important event, which is the 10:30 a.m. morning science coffee. So why I call it the most important is because we meet here to just interact with fellows and staff And it's just a chat about how work is going, about the new ideas you have, about some issues you are stuck in, or also maybe about the football game last evening. So, having said that, I really value the support we have here from our fellows. And with that, I would actually like to welcome one of our fellows, George Lansbury.
Hi, Aish.
Hi, George. How are you?
Good, thanks. Yeah, I've got my coffee as normal.
Oh, that's great. So we can have a virtual coffee today. George, would you like to share with the prospective students here how the student and fellow relation is here at ESO?
Of course, yeah. So the students and fellows at ESO were really part of the same community, and we're strongly connected. In terms of the social side of that, we see each other at the daily science coffees. We have day-to-day interactions, and then we have more formal arrangements between students and fellows. So on a studentship, it's quite possible that there will be a fellow involved in your scientific project, and therefore providing you direct scientific support while you're at ESO. And then another thing that we have set up is the fellow mentorship program. So in addition to your main science mentor, every student in addition has a fellow mentor. So the idea here is that a fellow is someone who's more recently been through the PhD process, and you're able to get support from someone who's slightly more removed from your main project. And this can be with technical issues like day-to-day things, data reduction, software, or even cultural issues. So more like referee reports, things, and applying for jobs, career guidance. And then the final thing I'd like to mention is the ESO Ambassador Program. So this is an outreach program that we've been running for a number of years, which is another way for students to work together with ESO fellows and ESO staff. And also through this and other means, which you'll hear from Tanya, there are exciting ways for students to be involved with outreach here.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you for that, George. It is indeed very nice to have the support from fellows, like checking on work, or even these casual regular checks actually help us stay on track. So thanks for your time. I can leave you to have your coffee now. Bye. So let's now move to the new building. I would like to show you the new building now. And to go there, I would like to take you through the fancy ESO corridor. So there is an old ESO building and a new building that is connected by these glass corridors. In the corridors, you can see the extremely large telescope boards, but we will come to that soon. Okay, so let's walk through the corridor so I can show you around. So we can also see the ESO Supernova here from the corridor on your left. And we will go there at the end of this visit. So I would ask you to wait just a bit more. And from here now we are entering the new building. As soon as you enter the new building, you see this model of one of the segments of the ELT mirror. And we will soon know more about the ELT. And I would like to take you to the Eridanus Auditorium. So this is actually the main auditorium we have here in the Garching campus. Every Thursdays, we have the Joint Astronomy Colloquium here, where scientists are coming from everywhere in the world and also from the Garching campus. Everybody joins in, and we listen to like interesting science. We have questions. It is a very nice session. And so there are a lot of opportunities, basically, for us to be here and learn from fellows and staff both. And having said that, I would now also like to welcome a staff member to talk more to us about the opportunities students have the interactions we have with staff. And I would like to welcome the ELT expert now, Michele Cirasuolo, who is also the Extremely Large Telescopes Program Scientist. So hi, Michele.
Hi, Aish. Hi, everyone. Hope you're well and you're ready to be amazed by this big project that we are building. You know, as we said before, we are building telescope and instruments, and actually we are building the largest telescope ever built in the world. This will be the largest eye on the sky, right? The largest telescope ever built on planet Earth. And if you come to ESO, you'll be part of it somehow. And you can see here, there's a video showing when the telescope will be finished in a few years' time. Now we are just at the basement and we are building this fantastic project. The scale of this is as big as a football pitch. And the primary mirror of this telescope, you can see here in the picture, is 39 meters in diameter. If you think that today the largest telescope is 8 to 10 meters, the ELT is going to be 39. And that means that you'll be able to give you images which are 15 times sharper than the Hubble Space Telescope. Every one of us loves Hubble. The ELT will be 15 times sharper than the HST. And what I like to tell to prospective students is that this is your telescope, right? This is a telescope for future scientists, that they will come with their own science ideas that the ELT will be able to prove and to demonstrate. So I really hope many of you will come to ESO, and as part of the studentship, you will be involved if you want, if you are interested in start learning of the ELT, how to use it and how to make great science with it, as well as see the site when you go to Paranal for some observation at the VLT. So I really welcome as many of you as possible to this fantastic endeavor and to ESO.
We're all indeed looking forward to the ELT. Thank you so much for your time, Michele.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, so after this great interaction about ELT, I would also like to draw your attention to the fact that one of the great things about being at the ESO headquarters is actually being next to this place where these telescopes are being assembled, the instruments are being built, and not just for the ELT, but ESO is also Paranal, La Silla, the Alma Observatory, and we have all the testing facilities and the assembly happening here right next to you in Garching. So with this, I have actually brought you to the integration lab, and I would like to invite one of our engineers here, Elise Wernet. Hi, Elise. We cannot hear you. I think you're still on mute. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine.
So we have some students with us here today, and we would like to hear more about your role as an engineer at ESO.
So, hello everybody. So I am Elise Vernet. I made a PhD in astronomy as well and in modeling of laser. And then I went to the engineering field and started to follow the development of some specific element, deformable mirror. And in this lab, you can see that it was at the time we integrate the mirror in what we call the facilities. So these things that you just see now, the white part, and then you will see just after the black part, were used to integrate and test the mirror before shipping to Chile. At ESO, we have plenty of system tested instruments before they are shipped to Chile. We need to fully characterize them, integrate, and for this we have all the experts in-house. So if you come at ESO, you will see optical experts, mechanical guys. There is expertise also in detector, in software. We have a big team allowing to have the system fully working when it comes to the telescope. And when we do such work, what we do is that first we put the part together, and then we'll have to test to have the expected performance, so that after the instruments are shipped to Chile, integrated in the telescope, and the astronomer can use and find new things. So that's the main objective. And here you see so the previous project, but we have also many activities ongoing for ELT. So if you come to ESO, you will have the capability to see what we call MELT, which is a mini ELT system for developing control of the ELT. There are also the segment integrated and tested. So there are many systems currently in integration and test. And of course, you are welcome to help. It's really important. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elise. Thanks for sharing about the opportunities students can have here. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So now that I've shown you around the various things and opportunities we have here at ESO, let's take you to the ESO Supernova. So ESO Supernova is our planetarium and visitor center that we have right next door to us. And I would like to invite Tanya Johnston. She's the Supernova coordinator. Hi, Tanya.
Hi, Ash. Nice to see you. And welcome everyone to the ESO Supernova Planetarium and Visitor Center. Shall we go inside?
Yes, let's go.
So this is the main entrance, and this is the foyer. The ESO Supernova has been open since April 2018. And yeah, in the building we have a large exhibition space, which I think Ash can show you a bit of now as well. And in the exhibition, we have huge amounts of information about astronomy, and it's all in English and in German. And we offer guided tours, or at least we did, pre-pandemic times, we offered guided tours. So you can see this is one of the last sections in the exhibition, which is about cosmology. The exhibition takes our visitors on a tour through the universe. So cosmology is one of the final topics in the exhibition. As well as the exhibition, we have a planetarium, that's the heart of the ESO Supernova. And we show lots of different types of shows in there. Many of them are produced by ESO. Some are produced by other organizations like ESA and CERN. It's got 109 seats. And again, the shows, we normally present them in English and in German. Most of them are in German. In terms of opportunities for students, of course, we would be very happy for your students to get involved in outreach. Because the majority of our visitors are German speaking, German speakers are preferred in the sense that you'll have more things to do in terms of the outreach activities in the Supernova. But that said, we do also get lots of groups from different countries visiting us. And as an international organisation, we love to be able to offer something in another language for a group. So for example, thanks to the inputs of ESO staff, we've been able to offer tours in Swiss German rather than just German, and also in Flemish, because we had a group from Belgium. So if we're able to offer those sort of things, that's always fantastic. And we've had previous students giving tours in Polish, for example. So there are opportunities, even if you don't speak German. And yeah, we'd be delighted to have you come and help out with the ESO Supernova activities. Of course, you don't just have to help out with outreach activities with this facility at the headquarters. You can, of course, bring your friends and family to visit as well, the ESO Supernova. Just like Ash has.
Of course, I have to say, I brought friends and they've truly enjoyed. Thank you for your time, Tanya. So thanks also for sharing about the opportunities we have here.
Thank you.
Thank you. This brings us now to the end of the headquarter tour. And we can now virtually fly to La Silla, where actually these observations are taken. So this is also one of the most prized experience for me to be at ESO, that I was able to visit the La Silla Observatory in my first year. And it was an amazing experience to see these telescopes, to see the Chilean sky. And now I would like to hand over to Priscilla to tell us more about Chile.
Thank you, Aish. Okay, hello guys. Welcome to ESO Chile. I will show you the Vitacura campus. So here we are at the main entrance of the Vitacura campus, and let me tell you that the first time I visited, it was to attend the La Silla Observing School. which is a school it happens in La Silla. And during this visit, the first thing I noticed is that arriving at ESO is already great. You can see these huge astronomical images all over the gates. And then you go through the gates and you can see the Alma building on the right here, and the ESO building on the left. Let's see if this works. Yes, great. Here on the left, and on the far back here, there is the satellite building, which is an administrative building. There is also a huge park where you can do exercise or other things while you are here at ESO. The second time I visited, it was for a short term, and it was when I really decided to spend more time here because the scientific environment here is amazing. So I've been a student for a year now, and as a student here, you will be using the offices at the ESO building, the students' offices, which are right next to the rest of the science team offices. So interaction with staff members and fellows is on an everyday basis. So as I said, the scientific life is really active, and twice a week we get to visit the Alma building. So here I will show you the Alma reception. Usually on Tuesdays, we attend the Astro PH, where a student, a fellow, or a staff member gets to present a recent paper of their own or some paper that interests them for any reason. And on Thursdays, we attend the joint ESO Alma colloquium at the Alma auditorium, which is this one. Here, an expert from the scientific community from anywhere in the world presents us their recent work. So this is the Alma auditorium, which is downstairs. If we go back, and now we enter the ESO building. So something happened here, great. We enter the ESO building. So we see the hall. This is the entrance. And usually on Wednesdays, there are 30-minute talks that can be given by staff members, fellows, or students here at the ESO building auditorium, which is also the auditorium where conferences are held. And as a student at ESO, you can choose to participate in any of the conferences held here. Also, as a student here, you can be as involved as you want in the scientific activities. This means that you can help organize conferences. Of course, you can give 30-minute talks, or you can help organize the Astro PH. Right next to the auditorium, there is the cafeteria. We also meet every day here at the cafeteria, so this is a busy place as in Garching. Here we have lunch on a daily basis with staff members, fellows, or other students, and we discuss scientific topics or everyday topics as well. And also the cafeteria is the place where you're going to prepare your coffee to attend the daily science coffee at the library, which is also a busy place. So if we visit the library here, we can see that it's filled with books, but it's not only a place to come look for books, but it's also a gathering location. And since it's a gathering location, I thought that this is a good place to meet people here. So we will meet here Claudia Palladini, staff astronomer working at Paranal, Chentao Yang, a fellow working at Alma, and Christian Jerez, a fellow working at Paranal. So hello guys, how are you?
Hi.
Hey. Hi, Christina.
So I'm showing potential students around. But I think that the most interesting part of ESO Chile is as nice as the office is. much nicer are the telescopes. Maybe you can introduce yourself and tell potential students about the work at the sites and how students can be involved in there. So maybe Claudia, you can go first.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Claudia Palladini. I am a staff astronomer. I am Italian. I have duties in Paranal, in the specific on the VLT at the interferometer on the VLTI. And as a staff, we are typically the official supervisor of the students, and here at ESO. And the students will then, as it is done in Garching, will be then co-supervised by one of the fellows. Like here we have, for example, Christian and Chen Tao. The student will then work on a PhD project, which is designed together with the university supervisor. And actually, I would like to mention here that if you're planning to apply for the ESO studentship, try to reach out to your ESO supervisor as soon as possible and not just a few days before the deadline, because this is important for the success of your application. While you are here at ESO, then we will have, of course, a lot of interaction about your project, also with your supervisor that can be invited also here. Besides so many exciting activities that Priscilla mentioned, there is also the possibility for you, if you're interested in this time, to mentor and supervise undergrad students that can join the Observatory during the year for short internship projects. But what is really cool about the studentship in Chile, and it's an experience that you can have only here, is that you can contribute to projects that are related to our ESO instruments, and you can have the amazing experience to visit one of our observatory. And Chantal, why don't you tell them about Alma, for example?
Okay. Yeah. So hello, everyone. I'm Chantal. So I'm an ESO fellow with duties at Alma. So I'm going to show you around Alma now. So as you all know, that Alma stands for the Atacama Large Millimeter and Centimeter Array. So you can see the map here. So Alma is located in the northern Chile. So if we zoom in, as you can see that it's close to the triple zone, the border of Bolivia, Argentina, and Chile. So here is the this region. You can see this is where the antenna located. This is called the array operational site. So as you all know, Alma is currently the largest telescope in the world. It makes of 66 antennas, which consist of 54 12-meter dishes and also 12 7-meter dishes. So as you all know, Alma works in the wavelength range from 80 gigahertz up to 1,000 gigahertz, almost 1,000 gigahertz. So from this view angle, I'm currently viewing from here, you can see the Alma arrays in the night sky. It's so beautiful here. You can see so many stars from this side because it's so up. Because the altitude is almost 5,000 meters above the sea level, so it's very, very high here. And you can see the dishes. This is a 12-meter dishes, and this is 7-meter dishes. So if we go a little bit lower to descend a little bit lower the altitude towards another closer the region, we can see another clusters of buildings. This is called the operation support facilities. This is where the engineers and also the astronomers and operators and also some supporting staff. This is where they work and where they live. So as you can see from here, you can see the building. So this is like the living. This is like a campus. This is just 3,000, just close to 3,000 meters above the sea level. So you can see this is the living facilities. There is even a basketball ground. So here, this part is the heart of the operation site facility, which we call OSF. So this building, the technical building, is very important. This is where the engineers do the enduring tests, and also and here they also they do the antenna assembly. And also here where this is where the control room is. So I'm going to show you the control room. So if you click in here, so this is the heart of the Alma operation. So you can see there are a lot of monitors. So this is monitors monitor the AOS site, the 5 meter southern site. So just see the conditions of the antennas, and here all the monitors should monitor the weather conditions. So weather condition is very important for Alma observation because the water vapor and the wind is the key parameters we are monitoring. And also the astronomers, they are queuing the project to execute in the project, science projects, and also the assess the data quality, and also with the support of the operators. So as a ESO student, you may have the chance to come here to the Alma site, to both sit here in the control room to see how Alma works and how Alma operates, and maybe you can participate in the operation, and also check the data quality and to see how to really view the first-hand experience of the Alma operation. And you may also go to the high side to visit the antennas. So it's really, really exciting. I mean, there are a lot of exciting science coming through every day at Alma site. Okay, so I think this is much about my side. So in the meanwhile, also as a student, you depends on your interest, your own science interest. You may also would like to visit the Paranal site. So now I'm going to hand over to Christian to tell more about the Paranal. So, Christian, it's all yours.
Sorry, Christian, you are muted. We cannot hear you.
Sorry.
There you go.
Okay. So I start over again. My name is Christian Hirns. I'm a fellow with duty at Paranal. And here we are at the platform of the Paranal Observatory in the Atacama Desert. It is actually the next closest city is Antofagasta, which is about a 2-hour flight from Santiago. And as a student, you will have the opportunity to at least visit once this spectacular place that hosts 4 of the largest telescopes in the world. So this is a very high mountain, and it's of course very nice to also enjoy the view over the Atacama Desert and see all the clouds, the sea of clouds that is below us. So here we can do really the most precise measurements of the night sky. And I think I want to take you now inside of one of the telescopes, and we're going into this telescope here, which is telescope number 4, Yepun. So here we are inside the telescope, and now you can really appreciate the large size of these machines, and also the large size of the mirrors. What is really fascinating is that even that these machines are so precise, they can be so large that they can be controlled with a millimeter precision to point exactly where you want them to be on the sky. So inside here, you have to wear your helmet, of course. And so I hope every one of you has your helmet on right now. And the facility is, the instruments are controlled from the control room, which is right next to the platform. So let's go there and look how it looks inside there. So this is the control room with desks and consoles for each of the 4 large telescopes, as well as for the interferometric facility, where actually the light from all 4 telescopes can be combined. So this is really a very unique place to be at night, and to see how the astronomers are working. And since as a student you have the opportunity to actively contribute actually to the operations, you will also have a great experience by actually seeing how the operations are performed at night. So this is really just a quick look around of this very wonderful facility that we have here in Chile. And I really hope to see you soon. So that's it from me. And I hand over to Claudia again.
Okay, thanks. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Priscilla,
sorry.
yes.
Thanks a lot for showing us these great telescopes. We'll see you on the Science Coffee later. Thank you. Bye.
Yes.
So with this, we conclude the tour, the Chile tour. I cannot stress enough how interesting the life as a student is here. So I think I will hand over to Monica and Heidi now for the question and answer session. And I hope to see some of you here soon.
Thanks a lot, Priscilla. I think that was really a great tour, and all of you got a good impression of what students at ESO can do and how exciting it would be to come to ESO. And we are now opening, so to say, the question and answer session. And you can please type in your questions in the chats. And we will then, of course, answer as good as we can all your questions that you may have related to the ESO Studentship or about the telescopes in general. So as long as the questions are coming in, I see. For example, there was one question that I already saw some time ago in the beginning, where someone was asking, what about people interactions now with the COVID situation? How do you organize meeting and science coffees, etc.? And here, of course, yes, I mean, the problem with the pandemic is at ESO as strong as it is all over the world. And at the moment, we are all in home office and we cannot go to the offices. For example, here in Germany, because the situation is bad again. So ESO is doing a lot to help students and fellows to still engage in scientific activities. We have, in principle, transferred all the discussions, I mean, the seminars, the journal clubs into virtual meetings. We do them on Zoom or on Teams, mostly on Teams. And of course, the supervisors of students, they are also in contact with the students on a sometimes twice per week or at least weekly basis with their students via Zoom or Skype or whatever tool they want to use in order to keep the relationship, I mean, to keep the research ongoing. But it is indeed difficult, but let's hope by the time that new students would come to ESO, which is next year in spring and then or at the latest in autumn, that we have, I mean, that this situation is improved and we can go back to the offices as before.
Yeah, and I would like to also add that at least in Chile, we'll still have quite active science coffee every day at 11 Chilean time. So I don't know if, Priscilla, you want to comment a bit on what you think of the virtual science coffees we have?
Yes, sure. So since you heard, I told people that show you the sites, see you at the science coffee, because we keep having the science coffee every day. We also have lectures still. Of course, everything is virtual now, but we keep interacting a lot. And there is also an active internal chat. So we are all in touch and we keep discussing science a lot.
I can see that there's another question on, do you primarily accept astronomy-based students, or do you also accept those with astronomical instrumentation projects? I mean, these studentships that we today talked about are the science studentships, but they are also instrumentation technical studentships available at ESO. And I think the deadline is also coming up soon. But so if you go to the job portal at ESO, there is also information on the technical studentships.
Then there is another question, which is more technically related, but of course we can take this as well. If someone can provide a short summary on how the image is processed from all the big telescopes to give us, its final shape, what we normally see. Okay, I think I understand what you mean. So the data that is taken at the telescopes, they go via a fiber link to the ESO archive, and from there ESO astronomers can pick up the data, and they can process them with their own tools. Typically, there are astronomical tools that every astronomer is familiar with. And but for some projects, we also are running automatic pipelines, and those automatic pipelines, they will take the images, reduce the instrumental signature from take off this instrumental signature from those images, and then bring them into a state that the astronomer can work with. So that's very basically the process. And then these final images, reduced images, it's what we call them, they are also available from the ESO archive. And in principle, they are open to everyone in the world.
So then there's also a question, is there a place for an aspired theoretical physicist at ESO? Or is it more for people in the field of astronomy, observational astronomy data analysis? Yeah, so ESO runs telescopes, so and builds instruments. So we are more for observations and data. But of course, it's not that you only do data. Of course, you have also need the theory. So if you are, for example, a theoretician who tries to verify the models with data, then of course, there's a lot of collaboration and synergy. But theoretical physics, that I'm not sure if, maybe if you go to the more cosmological part.
May I just add, we have a student also in our group who is studying simulations, and astronomers always need to check what they're seeing with what the simulations predict. So as a theoretical physicist, I think you have a lot of scope on the simulation side, and you're still at ESO and you're collaborating with others and supporting astronomers.
Yes, exactly. Also from here, I can add that next to ESO, we have a lot of other astrophysical institutes, and at those institutes, they are actually carrying out a lot of theoretical research. So it is absolutely possible also to apply when you are having a theoretical research project in mind. Then I will read maybe the next one. Is there a possibility to join the studentship program while having only the supervisor but not the thesis topic? It seems that our part of work on the ELT exoplanetary spectrograph frequency calibrator is stuck, and that's what I was supposed to be working on during my PhD here. I'm physics master's interested in exoplanet atmospheres. I think that, so you have a supervisor. So if you have a supervisor and you are enrolled in this university program, which also financially guarantees your support for a third year, or for the end of your PhD, then it is certainly also possible to join as a PhD student at ESO. If you can find, of course, a supervisor here at ESO that defines together with you and your supervisor of your home university a PhD project.
Okay, then maybe the next one. Is there any age limit for applications? No, there's no formal age limit. You should be enrolled. You should have your master's degree, and you should be enrolled in the PhD project, or being soon enrolled in a PhD in some university.
And the next one is, does ESO provide German classes for the new students? If so, are they happening online due to the pandemic? Yes, I was about to give that question to Aisha, because as you can hear, I never need.
Yeah, well, yes, thankfully ESO provides German classes. It's free for all the new students, and it depends on your level of previous German knowledge. So if you know nothing, like I knew nothing, then I was enrolled in A1. But if you already knew something, then you would be enrolled to a higher course. And yes, now all those classes are happening online, and they're very proficient, very helpful teachers. I can speak basic German now, but only basic.
And I can say that the same is true for Spanish in Chile then. I mean, ESO provides also Spanish classes.
Yes, yes. And they also been moved to online classes. I know Spanish, but I know there are a lot of people taking classes, and they are really happy with the Spanish lessons here.
So then, sorry, I have another question. Now, you can ask as many as you want. How many positions for students are available both Germany and Chile? Well, we have 2 calls a year, and we have yearly some 10 students, at least in Chile. So there are some 4 to 6 positions available. Depends a bit on, the situation, but that's the typical number, at least for Chile. So what about Garching, Monica?
For Garching, is there, for the ESO Studentship, we have on the order of 3 to 4 per year. In total, there are on the order of 10 to 12 PhD students per year, and other PhD students are through the IMPRES, so the Max Planck Research School, and also other fundings. But for the ESO Studentship, it's on the order of 3 to 4, depends. Sometimes even 5. The next question, if I apply for the month of November, for example, and I'm accepted, when does the studentship start? This is straightforward to answer, because you can start as early as March. In exceptional cases, it might be even earlier, but then it will be tough with our human resources department to get the contract ready and so on. So let's say you can start between March and September next year.
So next one, can you still apply if you don't have a master's degree but are doing a PhD? Yes, I think you can also, if you're enrolled in a PhD program, then you have some earlier degree that allows you to be enrolled in a PhD program, so yes.
Yes, if I may add, here, so I'm from Argentina, here we don't do a master, so I don't have a master degree, but I'm enrolled in a PhD program, so I was able to apply with no problem.
Then there is one question from Khalid. Can we pursue PhD in astrophysics there? The program, the ESO Studentship program, is for carrying out a PhD and for getting a PhD in astrophysics, astronomy. Astronomy, astrophysics is in principle the same.
So then, a little more practical question for actual ESO PhD students. So this is for Priscilla and Ais. Is it easy to find accommodation nearby for possible future ESO students, especially with the actual sanitary situation at Chile? So maybe Priscilla can first comment, and then Ais for Germany.
Yes, it's easy because ESO helps. So ESO provides helps for you to find a place to stay. And so, yes, there are lots of options, and they will help you through all the process. So it's not that difficult to find a place to stay.
For Germany, I can tell that ESO was extremely helpful. Before I even arrived, we had a guest house booked for the first few months. So you don't have to worry. You come here, you settle, you do all the bureaucracy, and you can then start looking for an apartment. And also ESO helps in that sense because there is a relocation agency taking care of you, and you just tell them that this is the kind of apartment I would like to live in, and they help you find a right place. So I think ESO is extremely helpful in that sense in Munich.
Then we have a question about the ESO staff working in different areas. I'm not able to find any ESO staff working in my area of thesis. Can I join some researchers working in MPA or MPE in my area of interest to get into the ESO Studentship program? So, well, in practice, maybe you can find an ESO supervisor who collaborates with someone from MPE or MPA. But you must have an ESO supervisor defined. So you cannot have a supervisor from MPA or MPE without having any ESO supervisor. But it is, of course, possible to explore if the person at MPA or MPE you're thinking of has connections to the ESO supervisor, to ESO potential astronomers who can supervise your work. That might be a possibility. Mm-hmm. I don't know. So if others have the students any experience with that, or do you know maybe others doing similar?
I would only add to that don't look only into faculty members, but also into fellows, because maybe there is no faculty member working on your area, but there is some fellows working on your area, and they can be your supervisor too.
Okay, then next question. What are the prerequisites for PhD at ESO? In principle, ESO doesn't give you the PhD degree, so that's why you should be enrolled in a PhD program. You can do then part of your PhD at ESO, so staying here 2 to 3 years. But the PhD you will receive is from your home university in wherever you are enrolled.
Then another question, is there any chance for PhD to be offered through distance learning in the future? That's a good point.
Well, currently, at least the students who have recently joined have only joined virtually, but I mean, how long this will last is, of course, a question.
I presume that this question is really for not for the current situation. So for the current situation, of course, everything is through distance learning. I mean, since we cannot, at least at the moment, we do not go to the office. This I don't know. I don't think so. So it's not within the program as we have defined it now. No, I do not see any other questions coming.
No.
So, okay, then thanks a lot for all this interest. And we hope you liked very much the tour. You feel now excited about applying for an ESO studentship. It would be great to see many of the applications. And if so, then please mark your calendar with the application deadline date, which is November 30, okay, for both sides, for Chile and for Europe. And also remember, if you are now excited to send the application, get into contact with a potential ESO supervisor and define with that person, together with your home university supervisor, a nice project. And then maybe we will see you next year, either in Chile or in Garching as a student.
Okay, goodbye also from me. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I would like to thank you all for your interest. And also, of course, thank all of our students and fellows and staff who gave the tour. and the people at the outreach department for organizing this. Especially big thanks to Francisco, who has been juggling the techniques at the back. So we leave you with the link to the ESO Studentship pages. If you have any further questions, feel free to browse there and contact us. Contact details are described in the pages. So thank you and bye.
Bye-bye.